Hey, beautiful people. It is your girl, makeup artist DeShawn Hatcher, all the way from New York. And I am here on my Sunday. Thought it was Saturday. But I'm here on our Sunday to sit here and talk to you amazing makeup artists, my people. So listen, beautiful people. As always, this Sunday is about you and your questions and your careers and all of that fun stuff. And so that is why I do what I do, is to answer your questions. Those little funky makeup artist dilemmas that you just say to yourself, how do I get out of this? What am I supposed to do about this? Why is this happening to me? All of those funky things that we don't really talk about in our business. We just talk about makeup, we talk about beauty, but we really don't talk about the business so much. And that's what this whole show is about, the business of beauty. I know everybody says that, but it's true, the business of beauty, because man, when we mess these things up, it could just derail our whole career. And so I don't want that to happen to you. So that's why we do this every Sunday. Hey, Jeffy Wuffy. I love the name. It's cute. Hello, how are you? I am good. How are you, my dear? I noticed you were here last week. Thank you for coming back. Welcome, my dear. Haven't seen your name pop up. Okay, so let me get this right, Miss Glamour by Troy. I was saying Troy all last week, I think. So forgive me for saying Toy and Troy at the same time. Hello, sweetheart. Glamour by Troy. Hey, DeShawn, second live in a row. I'm on a roll. Welcome there, Troy. Hi, sweetheart. Star Gem, hello. Hello, Star Gem. You know I like your name. Marion, hello, Marion, hello. Hey, Maria Jones. Hey, DeShawn. Hey, everyone. Yes, Troy. Yes, I know. You know, Troy, I look over, these things when we're done. I look them over just in case I missed something. And sometimes when I look over the chat, I still miss stuff. But I said, Lord, I've been calling her Toy. Her name is Troy. So please forgive me. Please forgive me. I can read from time to time. I can. Time to time. So listen, peeps, we don't have to be on here all night. But see, when I say that, then y'all come up with the fabulous questions, and then we're stuck in here for like an hour and a half. So I'm going to get to, again, thank you for forgiving me, Miss Troy. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. So we got a question this evening from the one, the only Miss Marion Howard. Okay. She came with a really cool question. I really like this question. I know I say this is about business and, it's more about business than is beauty. But if you have a makeup question and you have all those things, then you can always ask me those types of questions too, because I know sometimes it's so confusing what we use to do what with and why would you use that and how come you don't use this and da, da, da. So I like those questions too. Okay, what are we saying? What are your thoughts? Jeffy Weffy. I'm going to get to Marion, but I'm going to read Jeffy Weffy. First of all, Jeffy Weffy. I like saying Jeffy Weffy. I'm tickled. I am so tickled by Jeffy Weffy. Okay, so Jeffy Weffy just asked, what are your thoughts on New York for makeup artistry versus California for TV and movies? Now, that is a really, really great question, Jeffy Weffy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer Marion's question because she hit me up on the community board. Remember, the whole reason why we doing this joint is so that I can be a little bit more prepared to answer your questions. So that's why I ask everybody to ask me questions on the community board, but you can always ask me questions in the chat. But I do answer the community board questions first, just so you know the order of the Sundays. So I'm going to get to Marion's and then I'll get to you, Jeffy Weffy, I promise. I just joined. So no, don't say sorry. No, it's cool. I'm happy you're here. And first of all, like I said, your name is a T and a he for me, Jeffy Weffy. So Marion just asked a really cool question that I know can be confusing for some people. I'm thinking she says, where do you use mineral powder versus fine mill powder? So I think that's a really good question because there's so many diggy daggy powders. There's the fine powder, then there's the setting powder, and there's the finishing powder, then there's foundations that's powder, and then there's a loose powder, and then there's compact powder, and you're like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do with all this damn powder, right? So just where do you use mineral? We're gonna make this simple. Mineral is just more. This is how I classify it, Marian. This is how I look at it in my head to make more sense. Mineral to me feels like, first of all, it's mineral based, right? So it's got mica and it's got all this stuff. So it's mineral based, ground from stones or something, child. I don't know. I'm not the one to give you the technical terminologies of words, okay? It ain't me. I'm not the ingredient girl. But it is finely milled from minerals, which are normally like rocks they find where the hell they find them. Okay, so they take that, they grind it up, and then they make the powders. That's where you get bare minerals from, right? And so what those are just a heavier pigmented powder. So you don't need, like with a product like Bare Minerals or mineral foundations. I'm going to say foundations for a minute because really that's what they sell it as. When you have those types of things, you can forego like a liquid and a cream foundation. You should be able to put it on and get a coverage. So that's what that's all about. So it's got more pigment in it, more mineral colors in it, or pigment, or whatever the hell they call it, in it, that gives you a coating, very much like foundation, like powder foundation gives you a heavier coverage, has more pigment in it, has more color in it. So that's one thing. So when do you use that? Well, if you're doing TV, um, if you're doing something that requires an extremely clean look, if you're doing men's makeup, children, if you're doing that, just trying to get, you could use those things and do that. The only thing about mineral that makes me a little is sometimes it can have a sheen to it. So you have to be a little bit careful about the mineral powders that you choose because it can have like a little flecks and all the stuff in it. But that's basically it. It's just like a coverage, just like think of it like a powdered foundation. This is a little heavier than a normal, what she said, which was a fine milled powder. That's something that has been like, I'm going to give you a DeShawn analogy. That's something that like you take the powder and you put it in a, what do you call the poo-poo? I have it, a Vitamix blender. So you put it in a Vitamix blender and you grind that biatch up until it's like, it's so fine. It's like almost like a little puff of cloud. So that's just a very light finishing, fine milled powder that you can just, you're doing that dainty thing and you just want to go in powder ever so gently. You just take it and it's very light and you don't barely feel anything. Some of them have color in them, but it's very light. And they normally come in loose formulations. It's normally loose powder, but you can still get that kind of fine milled powder effect when you use my dirty brush. When you use brushes like, let's see, I'm going to learn how to do this. When you use brushes like this, see how wispy these are? So you can take a pressed powder. You can even take a foundation powder. And when you have this like fine detail on, you see how wispy it is? And you just go in there and just go pop, 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 pop. It's very fine. It just breaks down the powder even more. So fine milled is like a finishing powder. Some people call it a setting powder. Setting powder might be a tad bit heavier than of the fine milled powder you're talking. Might be a tad bit heavier, but I've used all different kinds of powders for all different kinds of things. Like I think Ben Nye would be one of those old school tried and true powders that we all used to buy. Everybody buys the banana powder, but they have a whole bunch of colors in Ben Nye. But and it's I believe Their luxury Ben Nye powders are finely milled. But the thing about Ben Nye's powders that I really do love is that they have this pigment in it that you can actually go in and like bronze up a woman. It's beautiful. So depending on like if you pick a color like topaz and you put topaz on me, because that's like a whole shade darker than me, and you put that on me, I will come out looking like I've been kissed by the sun with it. But again, it's a finely milled powder, so it goes on a little softer, a little bit more not as like powdery. So that's it. I could sit up here and bust your butt and give you all the talc. They got talc. It's got whatever. The point is, the point is that one is just a tad bit heavier. One has more pigment. One may have more shine, and that's it. So the mineral is the stuff that will be more pigmented. Foundation powders will be more pigmented, and then you go off into the fine milled. And by the way, if you see color in a powder, okay, this is the Shiite that I grew up on in this industry. I would get the powders, right? The loose powders, and they'd be brown and they would be light brown, they'd be all these colors. And I would say to them, oh, these are pigmented colors. And they would say, no, they're not. I don't know what that's all about. I don't know why they don't want to admit there's colors in these powders and these translucent powders, but there are colors in them. And so you have to be careful. Banana powder is one of those that have color in it. You have to be careful. You can't be throwing banana powder on anybody. So it's just because it has color. So that's my mini rant about powders. But that's it. So wait a minute. Let me get my little trusty dusty here. So, okay. So now let's get to Jeffy Weffy. I love that so much. Okay. Nubian Princess made it. Hi, Nubian Princess. Okay. So the question was, what are your thoughts on New York for makeup artistry versus California for TV and movies? We have amazing, I'm going to say union here, first of all. I'm going to speak in union for 1 second. But we have an amazing film and television here, okay? Of course, California has a great one too. The biggest one that I know of, really, I feel like, in my opinion, is Canada. Canada, if you notice that lots of TV shows go to Canada to shoot. So to me, I'm not in the union per se, but we have a great deal of TV and film here. So I think it's a preference on what it is that you want to do. Like, again, if you're going to be in the movie industry or the TV industry, you have to be in the union. You know what I mean? So that's the funk of it all. You have to be in the union. So we talked about this last week or the week before, about being in the union. So look at that video and figure out. I think it's just a matter of weather. I think it's a matter of weather. Like, do you like winter or do you like summer? I don't think the saturation of artists are really that much different. We have a lot of makeup artists here. We have a lot of makeup artists in LA. So, that's the difference. Now, here's the kicker. Jeffrey Weffy. If you're I'm the kind of makeup artist that I kind of do a lot of different things. I do fashion here. I do corporate here. I do television here, right? So I do all these different things, all these different disciplines. I do e-commerce here. So the question is, as a makeup artist, can I get that stuff in California? Yes, I can, but New York is the fashion capital of America. And so if I'm trying to do fashion, as I like to say, but I still want to do my TV and my film and all the stuff, whatever I can get, then that's where the tipping point for me would be, is that the fashion industry is here. So that would be the difference. So you'd have to kind of weigh what it is you're trying to do. Also, so now let me tip the point to California. And so the difference between New York and California, yes, we have fashion, but you people have the celebrities. So if you're trying to be a celebrity makeup artist out there who also works in TV and movies, then you need to go to California technically for that, because there's just so many celebrities. They're there is the point. Yes, this is New York, but New York, we get a lot of theater. We get a lot of theater people. We get different types of celebrities here, but California is where you have the, let's be real. You have the real, you know, Hollywood celebrities that live out there. So you have more of a chance of doing way more red carpets, way more award shows, all of that. You just have more opportunity to do that. So that's where the tipping point is to me. It's like, it depends on, what you're trying to do with your career. That's where I'm tipping to. Jeffy says, I was advised that I need hands-on experience and I need to intern and shadow other artists. I'm going to do my dream. I'm going to do my dream and live in New York. Oh, well, welcome, darling. Yeah, I mean, if you're trying, again, if it's TV and film, then I don't know what would be the difference in terms of shadowing somebody here or shadowing somebody in LA. I don't know what the difference would be in that. I would assume you should be able to shadow wherever you can. But if your preference, if your dream is New York, then come on, Jeffy Weffy, we're waiting for you. So that's what I'm saying. So it depends on what is driving you to be here. Again, if your dream is to be in New York and be a makeup artist in New York and maybe learn craft from here, that's fine. Because you can take what you learn here and go to California. You can take what you learn here and probably go to Canada and wherever else. So what else do I want to say? Oh, also schools. Schools are we have like mud and we have some schools here, but I have to admit, because I think New York is the best city in the whole world. But I have to admit that California and Florida, I believe, have really amazing schools when it comes to TV and film, especially film, getting into the special effects and getting into all of that. I have to admit California has far better education in that than we do here. So like I said, there's always like, but New York is the greatest city in the world. Okay, I said it. Oh, Live, Love, Freedom. Hi, Live, Love, Freedom. I love that. Hi, I'm so happy I could catch you live. Hi. Let's see. How does one become more confident in their skills and gifts as a makeup artist? That is such a good question. I always say that when I'm going to always speak about myself because maybe it's a narcissistic thing. I'm not sure. But I know when I was starting out, right, and I wasn't sure. I just wasn't sure. Am I doing this right? I don't know. I would ask people I would try. Let's be real. I would try to ask people in the industry, am I doing this right? Because I had no idea. When you don't have a clue, you just don't have a clue. I would do the whole, let me compare. And when I say compare, I'm not comparing myself to like Sam Fine at being a newbie, beating myself up that I'm not Sam Fine. That's not what I mean by when I say I compared myself. I just kind of was like, if I'm trying to channel, let's say a Sam Fine S type makeup that day, you know what I mean? As a test or something that I was working on, I would look at Sam's work and say, did I get close enough? I would have to figure out how to compare myself to him, but more on the level of application and that kind of thing. That's what I would be doing instead of saying, oh, I'm not Sam Fine. It wasn't like that. It was like, am I close? You know what I mean? Am I getting closer to this technique in my head that I think I'm supposed to do? Am I getting closer to being better at fashion? Am I closer to it? Let me compare it to a Vogue photo shoot that I saw. Let me start comparing. Am I getting closer? What in my image do I look at and see that's kind of off? How can I get it to be better? How can I get the whole shoot to be better in my head? So that's what I would look. I would start comparing myself to things that were far superior to me to see how big the gap was. You know what I mean? Like, was my model busted? Was the hair busted? Was the makeup busted? Like, what's wrong with this image that I see here? And then why is this image so amazing over here? And then why is my image kind of funky? And I would say, oh, I see. Oh, okay. Sometimes it wasn't like, I was on a message board at one point and I had asked, but this was a message board, by the way, it wasn't a message board full of makeup artists. It was a photographer's message board that I was on when I was new. And I had put up my photo from one of my first shoots ever. And I thought it was great. And they started pointing out things like the backdrop. They were like, oh, you should have ironed out the backdrop. And I was like, what does that backdrop have anything to do with what I'm showing you? It's my masterpiece. And it was like, no, biatch, you got to pay attention to everything. So being on that kind of board helped me with photographers looking at my work and explaining to me, well, I can see you do makeup, but there's something off over here and there's something off over here. They were teaching me in that little message board that I needed to pay attention to every detail that I was seeing. So that's where I got my training from. So how did I know I was on the right track? By talking to senior people who could point me somewhat in the right direction, even if it was as simple as saying, oh, you should have ironed your backdrop. Something as simple as ironing the backdrop can ruin the entire picture. And I didn't understand that when I first started. So how do you know? By communicating with people who are above you and by training your eye to see what is amazing and what is crap. You have to be able to dissect your work and then compare it to something, like the Mona Lisa. Okay, compare. If you can't do that effectively in terms of, if you can't take yourself out of the equation, what do I mean by that? If you look at, like I say again, if you're looking at like a Sam Fine and you go, I just can't do that, I can't do it, then you're beating yourself up about that, and you're taking it in and you're making it internal, like you suck. Then you are not the best judge of you. You need to go find somebody who can help you. And that's what I always say. If you cannot dissect yourself and not take it internally, like you suck, then you need to go find a mentor, a teacher. You need to find a consultant. You need to find somebody who can point you in the right direction. I have been pointed in the right direction for many, many years by people who would say, no, you effed that up, like that. But the one thing I always say is when it comes to artistry, and I know it's very hard for us, I know it, don't take it so personally. Like, don't take somebody saying they don't like something you've done personally. And I know it's hard. I know it's hard, but take it constructively. If somebody comes at you, this is what I always say: live, love, freedom. If I posted an image of my work, let's say on a message board, right? And some makeup artist would come at me and say, oh, I don't really like the red lip. And I don't really like this. And unless you're coming at me with constructive criticism, which means you're going to say, I don't like the red lip, and here is why. And then give me a second. Give me an alternative. So, DeShawn, I don't like that red lip you put on her. I think if you had gone with a nude, the eyes would have popped better, right? That's constructive criticism. But when you have some biatch on message, that's why I don't like message boards. When you have biatches coming at you on message board, oh, I don't like that red lip. Okay, so why? I just don't like it. That is not constructive. That's not helping me. You're not helping me. You're giving me your damn opinion. I'm not here for your opinion. I'm here for constructive criticism. And so we need to get you to find somebody who can constructively help you in determining where you are on your level. See, so either you do it for yourself and you can constructively look at yourself and say, okay, I see I need to work on my eyebrows. I remember one year I had gotten everything right, but my eyebrows were janky and I couldn't see it for a long time. I just couldn't see. I was like, I thought everything was perfect. And then all of a sudden I noticed that, oh, somebody had said to me, girl, what's up with the eyebrows? And I was like, and then I went back and I started looking at my work and I was like, girl, you need to work on them eyebrows. What you doing? And then I had to really think and practice working on eyebrows and shapes and colors and all that stuff. So that's my long way of saying that if you have a hard time dissecting yourself, then you just find somebody who can dissect you and give you constructive criticism. I hope that long ass answer made sense, but that's how I feel about it. Maria Jones says, I use Bare Minerals on a very hot, humid day. It wore through the heat and sweat beautifully. Maria Jones, I believe you. I personally don't like it. I don't think I have mineral like foundations. Look at me. Hello. I don't think I have mineral foundations in my kit, but I put everything on me first, and I'm oily. I sweat a lot, so it doesn't work for me. It's just it feels uncomfortable to me. So if it feels uncomfortable to me, then it might be uncomfortable to my client, and then I don't use it. But I feel you. I've seen beautiful, beautiful work with mineral foundations, and I'm like, oh, I wish that was me, but it doesn't. It doesn't work for me like that. And they also don't have my color. And then that's the other thing about mineral makeups. The mineral makeup to me are kind of they don't have enough color. When I say color, my color, I'm not talking about like pigment. I'm talking about like you need more colors. You need to reach more people. And I say I'm olive, and I can't always put on the mineral-based makeups because some might be too yellow and some might be too orange for me. And I'm olive, so it doesn't look right on me. I look dirty. Sometimes I look dirty and weird in the face, so it's just not my thing. Jeffrey Weffer says, I was advised that I need hands-on experience and I need to enter. Oh, well, we already went through that. Sorry. I see. Okay, so Jeffrey Weffer again says, I see that makes more sense to me. I used to do bridal, theater, and drag makeup artistry. Very cool. Cool. I don't really know what aspect I want, but I want to learn more education there. Oh, okay, cool. I'm glad you want to do education. That makes me very happy. I'm a very big pusher of education. I'm very big on that. I'm still educated. I take classes every chance I get. I think education is huge, especially if you want to do TV and film. That is not as simple as showing up and putting powder on somebody. It really isn't. You have to know a lot of stuff. So the film discipline is huge. So I'm very happy for you that you want to take a class. Please, on my blog, I have a story about going to school. Or do you want to go to school, or do you have to go to school? God, I wrote it so long ago. There's criteria within that blog article that I think is very, very important because makeup school is not cheap. And I want to make sure that anybody who wants to go to makeup school and any formation they want to go gets exactly what they should. And unfortunately, there's a lot of makeup schools out there that take your money, and then it's sort of like, did you even get an education? And so I think it's important that read that article. It's on DeShawn Loves Makeup, the blog. You can go to DeShawnHatcher.com, and that's my website, and just click blog. It'll take you over to the blog. And there's a big article about what I want you, Jeffy Weffy, to ask your school before you sign on the dotted line and you take out a loan. I want you to read that article, because when you go to the schools, I want you to be armed with your own personal questions about your career and what you're seeking out of that school. And they're supposed to answer you. And so please go read that article. I think it would be helpful, because I don't want to see anybody wasting their daggone money. Okay. So there you go. Live, love, freedom. She says, or he, I don't know. Wow, that was so refreshing, Sean. I've definitely been down that path, comparing myself to other makeup artists and feeling bad about it. To hear you speak about it, it was delightful to hear. Oh, good. I'm glad I helped you, because, yeah, it's weird. Do you offer mentorships? I've been doing makeup for about 12 years now. I'm feeling passionate again and taking it more seriously, especially business-wise. Why, I am. Y'all, some of y'all keep asking me, and I said, I'm going to do it. So really, I'm working on this new website. So it's going to go up shortly, but it really is all about that. It's really all about helping people who are stuck like that. I don't know where I am. I don't know what I'm doing. What do I do? What shoot should I do? What should I do? all of that, because I was with you. I was you. I was you. So I totally know what it's like to be completely confused and also do tests and shoots and waste time when I should have not been doing that. You know what I mean? So yes, I will be doing that. And that should finally, the website is almost up. My God, this website has been kicking my ass. Oh my God, is it kicking my ass? So yes, I do have, it's not it's I guess it's a paid mentorship. I don't know what you call it. It's just me helping you. So it will go up. Oh, it'll go up shortly. As soon as it goes live, I'll put it on. So, whenever I talk to my YouTube family, I put it on the community board. So if I have something to say, like it's finally done, God daggone it, it will be on the community board. And then if you follow me, you'll see I might put on Instagram and or Facebook, just so you know. Nairi Washington. Hi, Nairi. I've never seen your name before. Welcome, my darling. How do self-employed makeup artists get health insurance? I'm sorry, forgive me. I don't know what that word, what's that term? What? Health, what is that? I don't have health insurance. I'm not even gonna blow smoke up your ass and tell you I have health insurance. I don't have health insurance, okay? I haven't had health insurance started this damn thing. Everything I get, any type of surgery, anything comes out my pocket. It's a biatch. So, but how do you? I don't know, Nairi, where you are. New York State has a. It would be under Obamacare. We call it something other than Obamacare. New York. Oh God, I can't remember the New York Health. Oh God, please forgive me. If I remember it, I will just type it out and put it on the community board. But New York State has New York Health and Care, New York Care and Health, something like that. Then you go on there, you fill out the form, pick your you pick the service that you want. Blue Cross Blue Shield. You find, and then it gives you a price, and that price is probably still going to be astronomical, and you're going to curse. It's hard. I'm not going to blow smoke up anybody's behind. It's hard because it's so expensive. It's expensive. I really wish I had a better answer, one of those rah-rah answers for you. Can you get health insurance? Yes. It's just very, very, very expensive to get. And then on top of it, you're paying, not only is it expensive a month, but then they have the audacity to say, then there's a deductible on top of how expensive it is. So yeah, I personally don't have health insurance. I just pray to God. I pray to God, oh, please, Lord Jesus, please don't let this be catastrophic or anything. Please. Or if I need something done, I pay for it myself. So there's my answer. But you can get health insurance. You just have to be prepared for the sticker shock of health insurance. If you have children, that makes it a lot easier for you. I have no children, so it makes it a lot easier for some people to get health insurance because you have deductible dependents and stuff like that that make your thing come down. I remember when I was trying to get health insurance one day, and I was like checking all the boxes, right, for the cheap, and then the guy was like, "Oh, so how many kids you have?" Oh, I don't have any kids. He was like, I was like, "Oh man!" And then the thing went right back up to like $600 a month, and I was like, "Dude, that's rent." Well, that wasn't rent. It's not rent anymore, but you know what I mean. Just very expensive here. So you can get health insurance. You can get health insurance. But can you get affordable health insurance? Even Obamacare, a lot of my friends have Obamacare. And even with Obamacare, they're paying $500 a month. I just think that's crazy, but that's just me. Any more questions, beautiful people? Make sure I said hello to everybody. So Jeffrey Weffy, when you coming to New York? Where are you from, Jeffrey Weffy? I would love to know. I would love to know. Something just happened on my end over here. I don't know what that was. Let me see. Let me call people out. Glamour by Troy, you got something to say? Marion, you already asked me a question. Star Jim, you ain't got no question? Who else is here? Maria, all y'all ain't got no question? One of these days, I'm going to try to come live from my garden spot because I was in the garden earlier. My phone light is like kicking. Woo! I was in the garden earlier, and I was like, y'all, I got to go upstairs and speak to my family. I do this every Sunday. I got to go upstairs. I got to go upstairs. So I was like, oh, it would have been so nice to go live from the garden. So hopefully one day I will be able to go live this summer from the garden. I built a bench, people. Listen, I bought power tools. I brought power tools. Listen. Your girl. I have never used, the only thing I think I've ever used in my life was like a drill. Well, this year I went buck wild crazy. I was like, I want to be the carpenter of life. So I've been out there building benches, sawing wood. But it's nice. It's meditative. Yes, using a circular saw is meditative, but it is. But yes, I've been building a bench and making my little outside cute. So hopefully I can show you guys what it's like up here. It's cute. We had the girls in there tonight talking, so it was nice. So I hopefully be able to share that with you. Well, Monique, I see you say hi to Sean. I have a question. Well, come on with the question, lady. How does one create a more sustainable clientele or let people know who I am without coming off too needy or desperate? Listen, I forgot are you 12 years in the business? I forget. Listen, okay. Now maybe I have no what's the word? I don't have pride. Because when I first started, I had no pride. I was like, hi, I'm DeShawn Hatcher, makeup artist. Hi, I'm a makeup artist. Do you need a makeup artist? I'm a makeup artist. I shoved myself down. Everybody's like, I'm a makeup artist. I'm a makeup artist. I'm a makeup artist. I'm a makeup artist. Do you need a makeup artist? I'm a makeup artist. Right? I mean, if we don't, we were just talking about this in the garden. If we do not either ask for things, we will not get. If we think that we're supposed to be recognized, many moons ago, Live, Love, Freedom, my mentor, Fadil Barisha, who's a photographer, he said to me, you know what, Sean, you don't speak for yourself. Others will speak for you. And I just was like, what does that mean? I was kind of confused by that. But then I realized what he was saying was like, once you build this like name for yourself, then people are going to pass your name around. But if you haven't built that name yet, there ain't nobody going to pass your name around but you. So you have to open your mouth. You have to show people your work. You have to say, look at my work. Look at my work. Like you have to constantly just be pushy. You have to be pushy because there's another makeup artist right next to you that will be pushy. He's going to be pushy, and they're going to say, look at my work while you stand there. And you can't be that way. You have to like get out there and have your marketing material all together and ready to hand out and all that. You got to have your business cards ready to hand out. I'm here for you. You have to have your website ready to go. You have to be ready. You have to get ready so you don't have to. What is it? You have to be ready so you don't have to get ready. Is that how it goes? Somebody help me with that. But you know what I mean? That's kind of what I did. I was always ready. If you asked me for something, I had it. Do you have a business card? Yep, here it is. Well, I don't have it anymore. I just ran out my business cards. Somebody asked me for it the other day, and I was just like, oh, how could I not have a business card? But I ran out of business cards. But you see what I'm saying? Like, that's how you do it. You create that name for yourself. Branding. It's kind of what we call branding today, but we didn't call it that 20 years ago. We didn't say it was branding. It was just making a name for yourself within the industry so people knew who you were. If you're not getting that clientele, or you're not getting referrals, or you're not getting this is because you haven't made that name for yourself quite yet. You just have to keep pushing, put yourself out there. You might have to volunteer. I used to volunteer, even though it wasn't about makeup per se. I was always like a philanthropic person. So I have always volunteered for muscular dystrophy, Alzheimer's, and I don't know anybody with any of those things, but I would volunteer for so many other things. And so when I became a makeup artist, I thought it would be lovely to be like um, a gift, like, or see a silent auction. So, I'd offer my services, but my name would go out there and people would bid on me. So there's all ways to get your name out there. You see, so you can use something that you really love, something philanthropic that you really love, that you want to give of your time and your service, and you can still say, "Hey, I'm a makeup artist. Do you need a an auction gift? I can be an auction gift. Do you need, does the MC need makeup? I can do their makeup, and you could do it for free. But you could also, charities are really good at putting your name down on things and doing it that way. So there's all different ways of getting your name out there. So, child, there's so many ways to do it. But so how does one create more of a sustainable clientele? When you show up and you do a really great job and they like you so much, they're just going to keep calling you back. They just keep calling you back. That's kind of, listen, I can give you like, a Pythagorean theory of client stuff and break it down and go crazy. But it's really the basics is show up, do a great job, create a really great reputation for yourself, and be prepared when somebody calls you, but you really do have to go out there and market yourself. You really do. So that's kind of how, that's in my head, that's how you do it. But I wouldn't say needy or desperate. I don't think saying, "Hi, I'm makeup artist DeShawn Hatcher." I don't think it was needy nor desperate, but I was going to let you know that hi, I am DeShawn Hatcher and I'm a makeup artist. Quickly hand out, "Hi, makeup artist DeShawn Hatcher." That's what I did. That's what I did. Because as soon as when we say we're makeup artists, the first thing people start talking because they want to understand, like, "Oh, so what counter do you work at?" And you go, "Oh, no, I don't do counter. I do fashion. I do film. I do TV. I da, 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 da." You see what I'm saying? So it's a difference. So when we say, "Oh, no," they lean into us because they're interested in what we do. So what we do is like one of those things that pull people to us instead of repelling people. So you're not coming off needy. You're not coming off, would you say, needy or desperate? You're not needy nor desperate. You're just telling people, "I'm a makeup artist and this is what I do. I do fashion. I do beauty. I do TV. I do film. I do theater. I do drag." All these different things. See? It brings people to us. You'd be amazed. Just say your name. Say your name. Oh, I'm a woman, by the way. Thank you. Thank you, Live, Love, Freedom. Thank you. Okay, so we got Monique in the house. Okay, Monique, I did a shoot and the model had light spots on her chin. And so I tried to even the skin out, but I could still see the light spots. So my question is, how do I cover the light spots? So I don't know if you guys can see. See? I have 2 light spots. And I know exactly which tar. I don't know if this woman was, it doesn't even matter because sometimes white people have these on them too. It's like a form of like vitiligo in some way, weird something. I don't know the terminology for my spots, okay? And I have noticed that when you try, like if I took my color here and just thought I could just do this, the white just comes like this. It just comes right out, right? It's like, damn, I didn't do anything. What happened? So sometimes what you have to do is take a little primer. I'm not a big primer person, barely use primers, but every now and then, in fact, they just sent me, see, I'm about to show you. Okay, so this company, Urban Decay, I just had it when I was cleaning up. Urban Decay sent me their primer. Oh, here it is. So Urban Decay just sent me their eyeshadow primer, right? And all you do is take the primer, you put it on the spot, let it get tacky, you put it on the spot, and then you should be able to put makeup right on top of that. You might have to put a little bit more than normal. But yeah, it's very hard to combat a light spot on someone's face more than like a brown a brown, a blue, a red, because it's like, what the hell just happened? What, it's white. So I've done, I carry this around with me all the time, and I barely use it. In fact, it goes bad. It doesn't even go bad. I just have had it in my kit for so long that I'm like, I think you should take that out. I think you need to get a new one. And so yeah, I just take this out and bloop, put a little blap on it, and then you stipple. Don't wipe. Don't do this. Stipple, 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 stipple. Powder, then stipple, stipple, stipple again until it goes away. That's kind of all you can do. It's very, I know it's like, what? It's very strange, but yeah. Or there's like makeup that's super thick, like that MAC stuff, the MAC, not Face and Body. Guys, the powder that MAC has that is super thick? We use it in TV. I was working on a news show before the pandemic, and they used it a lot. And I cannot remember the name of that powder, but it's super, super thick. It would be something like that you can put on. Let me see. Da, 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 da. Marian says, why do some brushes have white tips instead of brown? It's a color thing. It's just a color. Why do just kind of trying to appeal to a wider audience of people who like white tips versus, like this would be like a nice loose brush, and then I do have the white tip. It's just color, honey. It means nothing. It means nothing, but yeah. So that's just the BS of our business. Live Love Freedom. Ambush them with art. That's right. Ambush them with your art. Be ready. Be at the ready, honey. Be at that ready to shove your stuff down their throat. And everything that you do, I know I have a friend of mine who just completely disagrees with me, but everything you do should incorporate a picture of yours, not you, but a picture of yours in some way, shape, or form. Your business cards should have a photo of some of your work. Your website should clearly have photos of your work. If you have comp cards, which are called composite cards that you just hand out, that can be all various sizes, it should have pictures of your work. You should always be representing yourself in some way, shape, or form. Here, 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 here. You should always have a leave behind. Marketing is a leave behind. So when you leave, somebody has your stuff. So that's what it's all about. Ambush them with my art. Yes. Let's see. No, Nubian. I saw Nubian say, oh, Nubian Princess. Thank you, my darling. Let me say it right. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. That's a very Black thing to say. But that's what I was trying to say. Thank you. Yes. Perfectly put. She says, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Perfection in a saying. Yeah. That's why there's like when people talk about luck, oh, you're so lucky. I'm not lucky. I was prepared. That's the difference. An opportunity came my way, right? Any opportunity can come any hour, all of our ways. But if we are not prepared, we ain't getting that, right? So is it really luck, or is it because I was prepared, right? Listen, I would not have a Guinness World Record right now if I wasn't prepared to do a fashion show that was 24 hours. Now, have I ever done a fashion show for 24 hours? No. But I was prepared. I understood fashion. I understood runway. I understood what I need to do. I understood how to execute looks quickly. I understood all of that in my mind, though I've never done something like that before. I was prepared. I wasn't lucky. I was prepared. That's the difference. You know what I mean? Luck is, I'm starting to agree with that. Oh, you're so lucky. Am I lucky, or was I prepared? Don't let people take away your blessings by telling you you're lucky. You were prepared, and that's why you got what you got. Okay? That's all I got to say about it. Star Gem. I want to make films and do the makeup I want to make films and do the makeup, or eventually hire makeup artists once I get to that level. Am I allowed to do crowdfunding or to fund me? You do what you want. Yeah, I don't see why everybody crowdfunds for something. I don't see you should. I thought crowdfunding was for whatever you wanted. I want a new TV crowdfund. Yeah. I would assume that crowdfunding is for anything that you want. So yeah, crowdfund away if you want. Be very clear, be very concise, tell people what you want. Don't be crowdfunding like some of these people out here all shady and stuff. Just, if you have the dream of being a makeup artist, we have makeup artists who are photographers, right? So we call them makeupographers. So if you're trying to be like a makeup slash Steven Spielberg director type person, then let people know the premise, and you don't have to give away your film, but let them know what you want to do and see who will support that. That's all. That's it. That's easy. Thank you, adolescents. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Live, love, freedom. I love everything you said. You're right. Tell the boyfriend that. I do have pretty cool clientele. I would like it to be larger and globally. When I first started, I was super shy. I'm ready to show the world who I am. I love that. I think that's perfect. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's so interesting. Like, you come from corporate America. I come from corporate America. We're not made to be like, we're not meant to be loud. Not when I say loud, like, look at me, look at me, look at me. Especially if you work for somebody. I was a portfolio administrator, right? So it wasn't like, look at me, look at me. And so when I came over into the world, this funky world, you realize that you really do have to speak up for yourself. You really do have to, you and I and all the rest of us have to be our own like press agents, and we have to say, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. I'm here. And because people won't see you, this is an industry full of loud ass narcissistic people. How are you going to cut through that noise? How are you going to do that? You know, this is an industry full of Leos, with the Scorpios and Leos and all these signs that just could just like, they just show up, and then there's other signs that are very quiet, and how does a quiet person cut through their noise to get seen? So that's something you really have to practice. But as something I had to practice that, cutting through their noise. Hey, I'm here, I'm here. But sometimes you don't have to be as loud or whatever to get someone's attention either. But just being able to speak up for yourself is the greatest thing in the world. Having that persistence, you know what I mean? Like, there are times that, like, when I first started, that, I would be like real quiet, and I would see these things happening around me, and I would just be like, damn, DeShawn, if you don't get your ass up out this chair, you're going to miss an opportunity. Get up. And I would have to talk to myself in my head, say, get up. And then run over to somebody and say, oh, hi, I'm makeup artist DeShawn Hatcher, blah, 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 blah. At least I was seen. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, man, we just got to do what we got to do. Jen, hi, Jen. Thank you. That has been a problem for me, and I've scratched my head on how to cover those patches. Yes. Yeah, I know. The patches are so strange, the white patches. The other way around, honey, I could just camouflage them things, but the white patches are weird. Those are very strange. But yeah, I'm very fortunate that I could practice on myself. So yeah. Thank you, Jan. Yes. Thank you. Studio Fix MAC powders. I have never in my life seen a powder so thick, ever. That stuff is so thick. But for film and television, it really does cover. It does it quickly. Person, it looks a little janky, if you ask me, but it does work. So yes, thank you. I always forget that. Thank you, Nubian Princess. Yes, I always forget that. Always forget that. Any more questions, you beautiful people? What was I going to say? I was going to double back to Miss Nairi Washington. Please check your local, in your state. I don't know where you are, darling. We were talking about healthcare before, and I was saying No, I don't have any. But check your check your state. And then sometimes within the states, depending on where you live, they may have something special. Like New York State is, one whole thing, and then Obamacare has kicked in here. But also, New York City has some New York City health care something as well that they add on top of it. So they have there's all different kinds of ways of getting health care. So I know it sounds weird because when somebody said, "Oh, you could have gotten Medicare," and I was like, "Medicare." But you can. So there's all different ways of getting the Medicare, and I just didn't know it. I just been dealing with health insurance, but there are many ways of getting health insurance in this country. Unfortunately, they just don't make it very easy for us to get it, but there are ways to get it. I will have it next year. Listen, I will have it next year. Okay, I ain't playing. I am not playing. Oh, let me type this out. Thanks, Jan. Okay. So if you can hear me, I'm going to get off this thing because that means that something funky is happening and you guys can't hear me, but I'm going to type it. I'm going to get off. I don't know what's going on with the audio. Everything is fine. I don't touch anything. I don't know what is happening on Sundays. I don't know if there's something happening in my air. I don't know what the hell's going on. So I'm going to go. I'm going to say bye, and I'll be back next Sunday. And hopefully I won't have any more funky audio issues. And I really, really, really went out and came back, and it's okay. Yeah, I don't trust it, Jan. I wish I could trust this crap. I can say, oh, yes, thank you, Marion. Y'all are so good with this. Please, see, look, a penny, I'm begging. Please like this damn video. Make sure you like it. Go underneath the video and put the thumbs up. Come back later, put the thumbs up. In fact, come back later, hit up all the videos and give it a thumbs up. And I'll be back next week. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Mwah. Very, very good show tonight. Really, really great questions. But I will be back next Sunday. Don't forget the community board is where you need to post your questions. And we will have another great session because of you. All right, guys. Have a good night. Bye, Aja.